Now we're going. Recording, and that is backwards coming through this webcam. So I guess feel free to pause that and put a mirror up to it if you want. Anyway, that's my ticket for Black Panther Wakanda Forever that I saw at the Cinemark in Benton. Cinemark Tinseltown in Benton, Arkansas. So it's a nice theater. It's done well for many years. Going to that theater, it's kind of a weird change up from having the list of. I was in Tucson for a little bit, and there's Cinemark, there's Harkins, there's AMC, there's Roadhouse, there's Galaxy, I don't know, there's a bunch of different theaters you can go to, and some smaller ones that you might not be familiar with at all. But such a diverse option that Cinemark here is the closest thing. So it's basically the theater to go to. There was a theater in Malvern, but it closed. They closed it. So bad move, but they had to do what they had to do. So it is what it is. Anyhow, welcome to my review. If you've been keeping up with stuff that I've been doing, I haven't really been around for a while. I've had the phone that I was filming on mess up. Just a quick side story. And the computer was messed up for a while. Had to upgrade it to Windows 11. I think I'm going to make a video all on its own of like facing adversity with resilience and grace and finding the solutions and stuff, even when things don't go the way that you think they will ever at all. And I'm going to have to make a whole video on that, and I can link to that. When I do, I've been having it kind of brewing and marinating in my mind for a little bit. But this is a movie I definitely wanted to go see in theater, is Black Panther. I haven't been going to the movies that much since I've moved, and some things have changed. And I'll get into that in a different video. But all is well. So this is a movie that I definitely wanted to go see in theater. I went to Tinseltown and saw it in Real D 3D. So that was actually quite the experience. And it was a lot of fun repping the... Thanks for the memories, Stan Lee shirt. Not sure how many seasons I'm going to wear this shirt. Might be one of the last times you ever see it, or that I see it. Accidentally hit stop, so we're recording again. So I like the shirt. Don't know how many more seasons it'll be around, but definitely want to rep some of that. And okay, so let's dig into this movie. Oh wait, depending on that's what I was going to say, is depending on what theater you go to. I think it was AMC has some kind of special, like a light up 10, if you're into that kind of thing. And Cinemark has a contest where you can enter to win one of like 1,000 custom NFTs. So if you purchase if you have the movie pass or the free account where you stack points and do that kind of thing when you go to a movie, you can enter the contest through their back-end portal on their website for Cinemark. You can go there and you can see the contest they've got, and that's a great way to enter a contest if you're interested in doing that. Add a little something special to go in and see in the movie. It's not just watching a movie. There could be more to it if you're into that kind of thing. So check that out, depending on what theaters are around you, and see what special offers there are, because they are going on for this movie for sure. Anyway, let's dig into the movie. So this movie, let me sit back and relax. I want to do this just improv, just off the cuff, not really any bullet points or anything, just a few things I wanted to mention. This movie was an experience. It was really well done. It makes me remember the original Black Panther movie, that compared to like some of the Thor movies that were just like jokes. It seems like even the most recent Thor movie was kind of a joke. That I felt the same way when the original Black Panther movie came out. That movie, I was like, wow, that was an awesome movie. And that was one of my favorites of all the Marvel, not the Avengers or, all these different team movies, but like for an individual character. The original Black Panther movie was one of my favorites. And after I saw this movie, the follow-up movie, I was like, that was really well done. That's how they are meant to be done. Like after seeing this movie, and I'm so glad I saw it in theater because of how much of an experience it is. Like there's one scene that is Shuri going through this water. It's almost like being on a roller coaster, riding rails through this water experience. And I was thinking, gosh, it's just such an experience. Their storytelling, their cinematography, and their pacing for Marvel if you are interested in any kind of film, if you're a film nerd, I'm kind of a film nerd looking at it from if I was a director or screenwriter or an actor or composer or somebody working in the industry on something like that, and I'm thinking about how they construct it. If you're a film nerd like that at all, look at Marvel. All the Marvel movies, it seems like I've just gotten such a strong, throughout the years, a sense of wow, their pacing is like top notch. They never linger too long on like one scene or any certain thing. They keep moving it along like a storyboard. If you drew out a storyboard, like a lot of lower budget movies seem like they get stuck in this like 30 minutes. They're like walking around, some store or in somebody's house, and it's like 30 minutes of just this one scene, and it's just too much. And so Marvel, they move the pacing along. They keep it moving. They're on to the next scene or on to the next, what's going on with this character, this situation, this other thing is unfolding. And so you get to jump ahead in the story instead of in just one spot for too long. So the pacing is great. Cinematography, obviously, they've done such a good job with that. And the story is one that I really enjoyed following along and seeing how it unfolded. How they gracefully took, like, Chadwick Boseman, King T'Challa. They took his, I guess they took the resolution from, his character and gracefully kind of rolled it or wove it into this story in a way to, that it makes sense. It's like he had this illness, which parallel to real life, there was the illness. And so they just kind of took that and they wove it into this story in a graceful manner that I thought was well done, and paving the way for, I'm not going to let any spoilers out, but paving the way for the future of the characters that come out of like Wakanda and the technology they have around vibranium, right? So I won't go into that. I don't want to leave any spoilers, but I thought they really did a good job with the story as well. Not just the cinematography and the pacing, but the story and wanting to watch how it unfolds, right? So let's see. The action, they keep you on maybe not necessarily the edge of your seat, but they keep you on your attention on it, the action and the pacing. And it was some really good action scenes and the choreography with the action. So if you're into that, go see it. And what was the other thing? Like the characters I was going to mention, it's interesting, like on a spiritual kind of note, if I'm doing like public service announcements with making these videos talking about God, it's interesting how they have a lot of inspiration and influences from all kinds of different mythology and different gods and goddesses and all this kind of stuff that I would say in reality, there is some of that comes through, like this, what do they say? It was like the son of Satan, the flying serpent god that comes out of the ancient, like Mayan and Aztec type of civilization, where it gets into human sacrifice and just all this ritual, this is like blood rituals and stuff like that was going on in these ancient civilizations, and watching how that kind of carries on through the ideas of stuff that ends up in our movies and things like that. And so there's a real component to it that I would say, the enemy is behind a lot of things and tries to influence things. And the one thing that is greater than that is God and Christ and the Holy Spirit, just over all that. So to put things back into perspective, if that's something you're not familiar with and you're kind of like, what's going on there? Ask God to show you that He's real. And with Christ, there is freedom from you have to experience that. I was thinking, what do I say in this video about that before I started? And it's like, it's something you have to experience in your soul, right? To know that that's real. When all the stuff of this negative junk from the enemy, the guilt and shame and condemnation and all this trash and negative junk from the enemy that he's trying to overwhelm us with, get each other against each other, and all this stuff, this sin in our world that's just overtaken things too much, where once you are set free from that and you experience that kind of thing, like with God, with Christ, it's like, oh, this is real. This isn't just some story that's made up. Like, God bless these people that are making these movies, just coming up with inspiration and getting creative with different characters and stories and all this stuff. But it's so interesting to see all that woven into the movie. And it's like, well, with Christ there is freedom, like for real. that once you experience that, if you're unfamiliar with it, once you experience that, you'll start to see, oh, this is more than just, you know, something made up. So that's my keep God first, and search that out if you're unfamiliar with it. Public service announcement, 2 cents to kind of throw that in the video. And the way that they pointed the movie, kind of wrapping this up, the way that they pointed the movie forward, I think they did a really good job of how the pieces are lined up now to continue on with the rest of the Marvel Universe. Because it's like they had this cliffhanger with Black Panther, okay, and they had to turn it into, okay, now there's other characters like developing, evolving, and they're going to bring that back into the rest of the universe. And it's just, if you're into that, it's totally worth going and seeing in the theater. I'll leave it at that. I'm curious what your thoughts are on it, on the characters, on the action, on the, what else is there? Easter eggs. There's probably tons and tons of those. And if there's anything else that I was going to mention, I'll just put it in the description. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe if you want to stick around to what I'm talking about or into, and share something with me in the comments, whatever's on your mind. And I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.